Hey yo, hey yo, toughest balls is back on the air, on the airways, on this last day of April 30th, 2021. I'm up in the studio, fully vaccinated, not because I want to, because I had to.
Yes.
You know, your man got sickle
Yes.
cell, so I gotta worry about stuff that y'all ain't gotta worry about. So I gotta stay up on them vaccinations, baby. Yeah,
Yes,
but we in
sir.
here. I'm feeling good, baby. What's up, brother? What is going on?
I'm
You upside down? With oh, yeah, man. We got a packed show today, man. We got a full show. We're gonna review UFC 261. Yeah, that was a big card, man. And then we're gonna get into some NBA talk. What's going on in the NBA? And then last night, the NFL draft, and it felt good. It felt good. It was better than last. I mean, presentation wise, it was better than last year's. My boy is happy with who his team.
Yeah, for you it was good. Both teams for you it was good.
Hey, the Cowboys got somebody on defense. Look like the Patriots got their little I don't know. I don't want to say that's Brady's
quarterback
replacement.
for the future.
He's got to earn that. He's got to earn that first. Cam is still
the quarterback of the future.
Cam is still the man until he takes that. But you know, Belichick likes those Alabama guys. You know what I mean?
He's got his quarterback for the future.
I mean, we've got, you know, we've got guys. Dante Hightower, he's from Alabama. We had a few other guys from Alabama, and now we got a QB. And know what's weird about this, bro? I'm looking at Mac Jones. He's about Brady's size, and he even smiles like him. He smiles like he just fell right into Bill Belichick's lap, and he got what he wanted. I mean, personally, I wish it was Justin Fields, but that didn't happen. He went to Chicago, you know. But we're going to get into the draft later because it's a lot of news to get into. We're going to review the UFC 261 from last Saturday, brother. That. Come on, come on, man. Like that card.
I think that was the best.
That card, man. That card was incredible. That card was it was the ish, you know what I mean? Like every fight was exciting. Even the preliminary rounds, preliminary fights.
Yeah, and the last one was unbelievable.
The main event. But yeah, let's go through the main card, you know, because we'd be here all day if I put the prelims on here too. But let's start with the main card. The first fight we had Anthony Smith. He defeated Jim Crute. Is that how you pronounce that name? Crute?
Hey, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Crute.
Yeah.
That was a tough one because Smith gave him that kick to the leg, and the nerve just he did something to the nerve. The man could not stand on his leg, and it just looked gross. It looked how he just was wobbling on it. I'm like, I thought he was going to break his ankle. How he was moving, but man, he was controlling the fight until that kick messed him up. That kick messed him up, and Anthony Smith, he's been in title fights before. He's been against John Jones and stuff, you know.
Yep.
And yeah, but go ahead, bro. That fight was
that kick. I wish that on nobody. I mean,
oh my God!
Just looking at it, it reminded me of the Dak Prescott. It reminded me of
oh my God! That kick was just horrible. You're breaking up a little, bro. But yeah, that kick was ridiculous, man. I mean, and Crute, he tried to fight through it, but he just couldn't he couldn't do it. And the referee, you know, looking at him and, you know, checking out his leg, and the referee's like, nah.
Yeah, just bad luck. It was just bad luck.
I mean,
That's all there is to it.
he kicked him in the right spot.
Yeah.
It was just a perfect placement.
And I thought he was winning the fight.
He was.
So he was winning the fight. So to get beat like that, I mean, it's a long way back. It was gross. I wish that on nobody. I looked at it. I screamed a couple of times, like,
I'm trying to stand on it.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was sick.
And he was so upset, man. You could tell in his face. Those guys
worked
so hard.
And he wanted to continue. That was the hard part.
You know, and the doctor, I guess the official, they came in the ring and looked at him and told the ref,
no, bro.
Nope. And he knew it too. He was trying to stand on. He knew it too. He's like, come on, let me fight. And the ref like, he's like, dang it. You know, you saw it on his face, but for him to lose like that, man. Oh.
You can't fight on one leg. Two is bad enough that you have to fight with two, but one, that's you can't fight on one leg.
Well, talk about fighting on one leg as we go to the next fight. I'm not making trying to make a joke out of it, but that was a kind of a cool segue. Talk about, standing on one leg. You had Uriah Hall. He defeated Chris Weidman. Soon as the fight started, bro, trash.
Yeah,
it was over.
Like I said, this is one of the greatest UFC cards that I've seen in a long time. Like as far as cuts is concerned, as far as knockouts is concerned,
devastation you saw,
broken legs, broken legs is concerned. We saw it all that night. We saw everything. What a great card! I hope the next one lives up to the same hype and the same potential as this one did, because to me personally, this was one of the greatest UFC cards I've seen in a long time.
It was, in that they got 15,000 fans in the house, and it just felt good. You know what I mean? It just felt good seeing that, because it gives you hope that we could get back. I don't know if we can get back to what we were before the pandemic, but we could probably get back to somewhat of what we used to be, man.
We getting there. We getting there, brother.
Yeah.
I heard the Yankees are opening up the stadium in July, so everybody's welcome. Take that trip with you, Marcus, out to Yankee Stadium when I'm up there.
Hey, I'm fully vaccinated, brother, so I'm ready. I'm ready. But yeah, back to the fight. You just hate to see those guys lose like that. And it was another one, Chris Weidman working back up to that spot, and then to go out like that. And you see Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall was like, I don't want to win like this, man. He was just upset. As soon as the fight started, the kick, the leg check, and it was the same thing that happened to Anderson Silva against Weidman. The same exact thing, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, so, like you said, it was exciting. I mean, the devastation we saw, but you just hate to see guys lose like that, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're gonna fight, we want to see a whole fight, even if it goes the whole distance.
It was a knockout. It was a submission. You know what I mean? Or if it goes the whole 5 rounds or 3 rounds, whatever it is.
It's like in boxing when a fighter stops over a cut eye. You know what I'm saying? When he knows that he can go on.
He can still go.
It's basically the same thing. Yeah.
It's like you see that fight, he still feels good, but that gash over his eye is just
his eye.
And the doctor can't let you go. So that's
right.
I mean, we get it, but you just hate to see guys lose like that. And
yes,
yeah, man, we're gonna move on to the next fight, which was Valentina Shevchenko. She defeated Jessica Andrade. It's spelled Andrade. It's spelled Andrade like Spanish, but it's Portuguese. Yeah. It's Portuguese, so it's Andrade.
It's like Garcia. It's Garcia.
Yeah. So Valentina took that fight. Man, she's always like cheerful and everything after a fight, and she's tough.
Yo, she's the real deal. I mean, I don't think nobody can beat her in that weight class.
I don't see anybody. Yeah, I don't see anybody beating her. You breaking up a little bit, bro. But yeah, I don't know who, like you said, in that weight class. I don't see, like, I think the bet, because Andrade, she's I believe she's a former champion. Andrade is a former champion. Yeah. So I think that was probably the best shot of someone beating her.
Well, what I got out of that fight was that they said she couldn't wrestle, that her wrestling skills were weak. And she went in there and she wrestled.
She wrestled.
She took her down 2-3 times, and then that was it. And then she told everybody.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the fight, she told everybody, well, everybody thought I couldn't wrestle. How you like me now?
Exactly.
I guess I can. But kudos to her, man. She's a tough girl, man. And she's got more fights coming. I don't think nobody can beat her. If you want to go toe to toe with her, she'll smash you. If you want to wrestle with her, she'll beat you.
You know what I mean?
I think she's going to clean up that division like Nunez did in her weight class.
Yeah, man. Like Nunez is the full package, just like that. And
she's right behind her, I think.
Yeah, Shevchenko, got her wrestling, and maybe she got some new judo skills. But
right.
Yeah, she's tough, man. I like watching her fights. And keeping with the girls, we had a recrown of keeping it with the ladies. We had a recrowning of a champion with Rose Namajunas.
It's not Rose, it's Thug Rose.
Thug Rose. Bro,
Thug Rose.
I like about her because I don't want this to sound sexist, but she still comes off as feminine, but she's tough.
Yeah, she's I've seen a picture of her in a magazine, I think it was.
I mean, she looks like a little kid. I mean, she has a youthful face.
But she can fight.
Very marked. That's what I mean. She's tough. You look at her, you see her walking down the street, like, who is, she's a little something. Yeah. You don't think man.
No, but now I know that if I see her walking down the middle of the street, I'm taking her with me on my side. Like, come on.
Yeah, and I didn't.
You can fight with me.
Yeah, and I didn't think she was going to beat Zhang Weili.
And you know what? And she thought that the fight was stopped early. Remember, they said, "Oh, they stopped early."
Yeah.
No, she was out. Once she got that kick to her head, she was out. She was out. She went to the ground. She fell. Rose dove on top of her, and she was out.
Yeah.
That was a good call. Good call by the referee. She was out. And congratulations, Thug Rose.
Thug Rose.
I want to see her. Yeah, Thug Rose. I want to see her. Keep going though. I want to see her defend the belt a couple more times. I heard there was an instant rematch with in that fight. So with Zhang Weili, we'll see what happens if they get the rematch up later on and stuff like that.
Hey, I'll watch that again.
I didn't see Thug winning. That's the whole thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
When I saw the other one come into the ring, I was like, no, Thug Rose don't got a chance. And then I saw the kick, and I was like.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. And she was, she was overjoyed and crying and everything. But proud of her.
Very humble.
Very humble fighter, Rose Namajunas. And yes, hopefully she can have a lengthy reign as we move on. You spoke about knockout, Weili getting knocked out. In the main event, we saw a knockout.
Whoa.
Kamaru Usman defended his title against Jorge Masvidal. And you pick Jorge. Let's not forget, you picked Jorge. Well,
yes, I did.
And what did I say? I said, there was no way they can't win.
You're right.
And he came out strong. Don't get me wrong, Jorge came out strong.
I didn't know that Usman
had that power.
Had that power or that punch. Yeah.
Well,
I found out. I found out.
I think that's kind of Masvidal's fault because he after the first fight he said, "Oh, I didn't feel his punches. There was nothing.
Right.
He doesn't hit hard." So
yeah,
I think that ate up Usman inside. And he's like, "I'm gonna make it." Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't hit hard. I got you.
This time
knock you out.
This time you're gonna feel my punch. Yeah.
Bro, I've never seen Jorge get knocked out.
I think, after
they said fight, one time before, but I didn't see that fight. But
me neither. But I think now Jorge, I think is done. He'll have little fights here.
He said he can't retire without the title. That's what he said after the fight.
I don't think if Usman's in there, I don't think he's never going to get the title. So I think he's done. I think he'll just fight a few
It's
more
how you
fights
said it. That was
like
funny. I don't
that.
think he's out.
Yeah, no, he ain't winning it. No, he's not winning it. I just think that as far as him being a top billing or
Mm-hmm.
getting top fights again after what happened now, I think he's just gonna be like
Well,
just fighting for the sport.
Yeah, Usman said on Usman's side, he said he doesn't see anything out of anybody. And he has Kobe Covington next, which I can't stand that dude. Kobe
And he's
Covington.
about to
He's
get
just
whooped too. Yeah,
he's a you know what? He's a private part.
yeah.
But Usman handled him before. I mean, beat him up,
And
bloodied
this
him up.
and this time it'll be.
It's going it's going it's going to probably be worse, bro. That's what you think it is. Oh, we got a little pause again. Wi-Fi issues today, but yeah, is it going to be the same outcome? It's going to be the same.
Yeah,
what you think?
Same outcome. Same outcome. I don't see nobody beating Usman right now. Usman is the best fighter pound for pound in the UFC. And some people say, "Well, what about John Jones?" I'm like, no.
No, he don't need to move up. No.
Pound for pound.
Oh, pound for pound fighter right now is Usman.
Yes. Yeah.
You can say Usman. You can say Ngannou. You know what I mean?
A lot of people are saying John Jones still.
I mean,
so.
Oh man,
I mean, it's
I
close,
don't know. My thing with John Jones, I love John Bones Jones. That's my boy. He was my main guy. I thought he was the face of UFC at one time, and then he had the little hiccups with the drugs.
He doesn't fight enough. He only fights once every 2 years.
Yeah, and then he gets suspended, and he comes back, and he gets suspended again, and he comes back. And it's like, man, it's hard for you to stay behind him, but you're like, man, until somebody knocks him out or beat him, how can you argue against him that if he believes he's still the pound for pound?
Well, that'll happen in the next fight.
Man, I love John Jones, like I was saying, but you think he want those Ngannou? He want those Ngannou? Francis Ngannou problems?
He thinks he does, but he don't.
We saw how Ngannou, Stipe was control of the division for a long period of time, and Ngannou beat him down.
Yeah, no. John Jones is not no part of him. I'm trying to tell you. He has to move up in weight, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Ngannou will weigh like 30 or 40 pounds more than him.
That's what I'm saying.
And if he gets punched by one of those heavyweights,
I don't think his jaw. His jaw can't
handle that.
No.
Yeah,
like you said, he's moving up in weight, and that's Ngannou's natural weight. 260 is his natural weight, and you have to move up to have. You had to move up to heavyweight.
Can we get a call?
Maybe call Jones? Brock. Maybe get a pre-fight. Call Brock Lesnar. See if he
can handle that. Yeah, that would be reasonable. Let's
right?
do that.
John Jones and Brock.
And if you beat Brock, then we might give you a chance against him.
But that's what I'm saying. It gives you a preview to see how he can fight against a big dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't see John Jones beating the champ. Ain't no way.
No,
I bet the house on it. And whoever wants to bet, send them my way.
Yeah, and we're John Jones fans. We're John Jones fans.
Jones fans. He has to prove it to me.
Ngannou is a different beast, man.
Yeah, John Jones has to be from Missouri. He got to show me.
For real, bro. I feel you, man. For real.
Yeah, you got to show me. I'm from the show me state. You got to show me, brother.
Show me, please, man. Yeah, prove it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, UFC is excited, man. UFC is
excited. Well, now that they got the fans back, and that place was
well, that's Florida. So, I don't know how it's going to be if they move to another arena in another state. But,
we should be back up to capacity in July. They said June or July. So,
tomorrow,
But the way it was in Jacksonville, when I saw the crowd and everything like that, it was so exciting to see the people back in the stands, man. That's the whole thing about the sports. To me, being a former player, when I got excited when I saw a full house and everybody watching.
When I was watching, like that seeing that fight, it just gave you hope, man. It just gave you hope, and the energy is nothing like that energy. And no, don't get me wrong, during the pandemic when there was no crowd, I mean, the fighters still fought. They still put on good fights, but it's not the same. The crowd gives enough energy. Is the same thing when it comes to, WWE and boxing.
Yeah.
You need that live audience.
Yeah, it's not. You love to hear the oohs and the ahs and the people that are rooting for you and not rooting for you or talking smack to you while you're walking up to the ring.
That's what I mean.
I love that. I love energy. That's what sports is all about. Yeah,
exactly. That's what sports is all about.
Let's get that same energy we had in Jacksonville across the whole nation, man. That'd be fun. Let's get back to reality.
Yeah, we had a little something last night with the draft. We're gonna get into that a little bit later, but before we get out of UFC, you brought up this question when we were talking the other day, brother. Okay. You brought up Bruce Lee.
Oof.
If Bruce Lee,
my man,
was around today in his weight class, could he fight in the UFC?
Yes.
And I said yes as well.
And I think he could win and beat everybody in his weight class.
I think he would, in his weight class, he would be the king of his weight class. He shouldn't move up. He shouldn't move down. Stay in his weight class. But remember, I was telling you, I seen people like Michael Jai White, who is a certified fighter, an actor. And
he knows a lot of.
He knows about fighting,
karate, jiu-jitsu.
Yes, he knows all that, and he think Bruce Lee couldn't compete in that type of arena. And I'm like, I don't, bro.
He's smoking something. He's smoking something because,
bro, Bruce Lee knew his judo. He knew every art.
Jiu-jitsu,
what
judo,
was the name of his
everything.
style? I can't think of Bruce Lee's.
Was it
some Kundo or something?
Yeah, Taekwondo.
Kundo or something like that. It was his own style. It was his own style. So
and Chinese connection.
Chinese connection. Like we're talking about the other day, Into the Dragon. What was the one with what was the one with Chuck Norris? When he broke Chuck Norris.
Wasn't that Into the Dragon? Or
no, that wasn't Into the Dragon. That was before.
Was that Return of the Dragon?
That was probably with probably one of those, but he broke his bones.
Yeah.
Broke him down. And even Chuck Norris, I remember at the he talked about Bruce Lee death, Chuck Norris, he praised Bruce Lee like, he couldn't touch Bruce Lee,
Yeah, he said
even though Chuck Norris was good. Yeah, Chuck Norris was good and we liked his movies and Missing in Action. Remember Missing in Action?
Bro? This is the thing, though. I think they should get, you know how they're doing the old fights with Mike Tyson, and now he's going to fight Lennox Lewis, I heard, in September or something like that. They got a match. They already signed a contract for Tyson to fight Lennox Lewis. I think they should get these Hollywood actors.
Oh, you broke up again. But, yeah, you want to get some Hollywood actors to do some type of event like that. I think that would be pretty cool.
You think people wouldn't pay to go see Steven Seagal versus Jean-Claude Van Damme in the ring?
Oh, what? Well, years ago when their movies were out, we always said that. Oh, who could win?
Who could win, right?
Or Steven Seagal, and I always said Van Damme. Steven Seagal, he always had to beat up the Jamaicans in the movie and stuff. The guys with dreadlocks, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't know about Steven Seagal. I don't know why he always got beat up the Jamaicans, and and they always had fake Jamaicans.
Some of them guys like Bruce Lee. I mean, I would have loved to see these guys fight in their prime.
Those guys, Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Jackie Chan.
He wasn't a fighter, but I think he was like.
But he can fight. No, he knows karate.
He knew like dance choreography, so that's why it looked like he knows martial arts.
But I think he does know martial arts.
Jet Li. Jet Li. I'm with you there. Jet Li.
Okay, Jet Li is another one.
But I was saying, bro, because of Bruce Lee, those guys have careers.
Right.
Being fighters and then going to Hollywood. All those guys are official fighters.
Movies, yes.
Yeah, there was another movie, I forget the guy's name, but it was called The Perfect Weapon. And the guy was like crazy with the hand speed.
Yeah.
He was crazy with the hand speed. I remember Steven Seagal spoke about him. He was like, I wouldn't mess with that guy. Well, I'm like, you can't mess with Jean-Claude Van Damme either.
You can't mess with a lot of people.
You know what I mean? Steven Seagal, you're a little slower, man. I know you're tall and stuff, but we saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar get broken down by Bruce Lee.
And Bruce Lee
he took him down.
Taught Kareem, and Bruce Lee taught Kareem.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
he taught Kareem.
Yes, he did.
I wouldn't like to mess with Kareem either on the basketball court if I knew he knew all that stuff, boy.
And I think during one of his documentaries, they show like pictures of Kareem in his classes and stuff like that. So
yeah,
man.
Kareem was a bad man.
Yeah, man. I think Bruce Lee can compete in the UFC. I don't care what nobody say.
Yes.
You could think we're wrong, but what if this is tough as balls? We could say how we want.
That's right. It's our show.
Exactly. As we move from the fight game into the NBA game, which you're probably feeling good with the NBA situation when it comes to the Knicks.
Yeah, we're playing great basketball.
But my team is, I don't know. But first question, because
I gotta get my Knicks hat.
Listen, bro, we always bring up stuff, right? And then somehow it ends up they talking about it on ESPN. So I stole a question from them since they want to. Somebody's watching Tough as Balls and they not saying nothing, but I took a question from them because I forget what show it was, but they said, will KD, Kyrie, and Harden regret going to Brooklyn if they can't win a title this year?
Yes.
They will regret it.
Yes, because that was their plan. First that was Kyrie and Durant's plan. It was to go to New Jersey. Mm-hmm. They didn't pick the Knicks. Imagine if they would have went to the Knicks with the Knicks.
Well, that's why I was going to get to. That's why they brought up the question.
Because that was their intent was to get together to bring a championship to the city of Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. Then they added James Harden. Mm-hmm. Then they added Blake Griffin.
Yep.
Then they added DeMarcus.
DeMarcus Aldridge.
He couldn't play. Yep, he couldn't play because
he had to retire.
His heart condition. Mm-hmm. But they still have those four. They still have DeAndre. They still have Harris. Mm-hmm. It's championship or bust for them.
Basically, right?
And I think they only got Harden for a year. So James, the contract, because they took Houston, the
remainder of that contract.
The remainder of the contract. So Harden could be a free agent next year. What if Harden goes to New York and signs with the Knicks?
well, that's what they brought up a question because they were wondering, like, why with the history of the Knicks that you would go to the Nets and not the Knicks. But I think there's one answer to that, and that's James Dolan.
Yeah. And
even though the Knicks are on the right, man, the Knicks look.
Yeah, they're good. They got a young team.
Good, man. They look like a totally different team from what they were last year. The Knicks look good, and it's like all you see is it's only one way to go, and that's up. You know what I mean, bro? Like there's only one way to go for the Knicks, and that's up. So, man,
and they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. I think because of all the publicity that the Nets are getting, mm-hmm. And all the players that are going over there, I think the Knicks are playing with a chip on their shoulder, saying, "Hey, this is still my town. Yeah, this is still my city.
This is still Knicks city."
And we're going to prove it to you by bringing our fans back, by winning basketball games, and by going to the playoffs. You don't know how ecstatic.
I know you're ecstatic. You're breaking up again. I know you're excited about the freaking Knicks being back. When they were, after Carmelo left, no one was really talking about the Knicks. And to be in the big city like New York and no one's talking about you, and then the new team from New Jersey comes and sets up shop in Brooklyn and everybody's looking at them. Yeah, you're right. I think they got a chip on their shoulder.
And like LeBron James said, New York, when the Knicks are in the playoffs, the NBA is more relevant.
It is more relevant.
Anything
Like
that
you said
happens,
about Boston, it's New York, Boston, Lakers. When those
the
teams,
Dodgers, the Yankees,
yeah,
any of those teams
when
that
it's
are in,
baseball, yeah,
it's more fun. It's more fun when these teams are in the playoffs, are in the hunt, are doing good. People flock out to see them. And it just makes the sport more fun when these big time. I mean, I don't knock the low rated teams like Kansas City Royals or something. And the Royals are in first place
yeah,
in their
yeah,
division with young guys. I mean, I don't know how long that's going to last before
yeah,
the Twins catch fire or the White Sox catch fire, but um, it's good for the sport, man. When the good teams are doing good,
yeah.
or the older teams, the
The
history teams
older,
are doing good.
well-established teams, the historic teams that's been
Yes,
around for generations, and
yes,
like you said, Yankees, Red Sox, teams like that, Dodgers,
yeah.
teams like that. When they're not in the playoffs, it's like, oh, why am I
Yes, and you
watching this?
why?
You
Yeah,
like,
why am
you
I
don't even
watching
want to
baseball?
watch. You're like, man, oh, none of them.
Yeah,
I don't care.
and the only reason I watched the World Series last year because I wanted to see the Dodgers kill Tampa because Tampa
Oh,
beat the
that's
Yankees.
it. Yeah, because they
So
messed us
yeah,
up. They messed up
yeah,
our
they
thing,
messed up.
but
Yeah,
so yeah, man. So with all that said, when it comes to the NBA, well, we'll see what happens with Brooklyn. Harden still isn't back, so we'll see. But yeah, I guess it is title or bust for them as we move on to the next question. And this question has to deal with the teams that were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, but both of them look like, like what is? They don't even look like the same teams. And I'm talking about the Heat and Celtics. And the question is, what's the problem with the Heat and Celtics? Like, I'm trying to figure that out. You know what I mean? Oh, you broke up again. I'm trying to figure that out. Like, what is the deal with the Heat and the Celtics?
it's a different year. It's a
I mean,
different year,
but
Marcus.
it's night and day. They don't even look like and
It's a different.
the off season wasn't as long as it usually is. So
It's a different year, Marcus. Each team, the Celtics. I'm going to put this out there right now. The Celtics aren't that good. I'm
oh,
going to put.
really?
I'm going to put that out there.
I could have told you that.
I mean, with the talent they have, because they do have talents. It's like they don't have no talent.
Mm-hmm.
But this year they're just not that good,
Well,
and
yeah.
neither are the Heat.
Well,
I think the
Jalen
Heat.
Rose brought that up on ESPN. He's out of all the teams in the league, he said he's most disappointed in the Celtics.
Yes, because they have talent. They got players. Kemba, Brown, Tatum, going down the line. Fournier.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't have. I don't think they don't have what it takes. I could be wrong. They could make a push in the playoffs. And the Heat, I think, overachieved last year. That was the thing
They
with
were
the Heat last year. I
overachievers.
think they overachieved last year. They made it to the finals, and you see they're a whole different team this year. Um, so things like that happen within 1 year to the next.
Yeah,
You
but
don't know what
it's
you're going to get. People got to stay healthy. They got to have the same numbers that they had last year. And then when that doesn't happen, you got a team that's a 500 team. That's Boston and Miami.
I think you're right, bro. I totally think you're right, and I just don't get it. You know,
I'd be happy if the Knicks win the first playoff series. I'd love to see them win the first round, and maybe against your Celtics, Marcus. That would be even icing on the cake for
the
me
Knicks
if they ever
versus. I
played.
mean, I don't want to see that with how they're playing now. I definitely don't want to see that. I have to see some change in the next. I think it's like what eight games or so left in the regular
Yeah.
season.
Yes.
So I'm like, do we have enough time to get it right?
Yeah. We'll see.
I don't know, man. I'm just not excited. Like usually I'm excited. Like it's usually, April, May,
Playoffs.
playoff
Playoffs are starting
season.
soon.
Playoff season, and this year we getting a kind of a little treat because the finals are going. These playoffs are going into July. So we
Right.
getting some midsummer, not just early summer basketball, but midsummer basketball going into July, and then we got Olympics after. So we got a lot of basketball
And a
this
lot of
summer.
podcast. A lot of podcasts.
A lot of podcasts and a lot of yakety yak with Randy and Mark. Because
Yes,
you're
sir.
gonna hear our opinions.
The chosen brown and the freaking Puerto Rican. We're going to be here throughout the whole thing.
You know what I'm saying? And we watch Olympics too, so get ready for those podcasts.
USA.
We watch everything. We watch everything. Yeah, man. But I don't know. And talking about the Celtics before we get out the NBA, I got the question here, bro. Because the Celtics, should Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge be on the hot seat? Let's remind the audience that as a GM, Danny Ainge, like Doc Rivers, only has one championship as the GM of the Celtics. He only has one championship.
Well, he was the coach of the Celtics, wasn't he, when they won it?
No, you mean Doc Rivers?
Doc Rivers.
Yeah, Doc Rivers was coach. But yeah, I mean, I'm talking about Danny Ainge as the GM. Should and Brad Stevens, should both of them be on the hot seat? Should their jobs be on the line with what's going on with the Celtics?
Brad Stevens, yes. Danny Ainge, no.
Why?
Danny Ainge has gotten the players that he needed for the Celtics to be better. He went and got Hayward first. We thought that was going to work out. Didn't work out as planned. Because of course Hayward got hurt. Then he got Kemba. He brought Brown over there. I think it was through draft. He got Tatum through draft. He's brought the players over there that with the recipe for winning a basketball. The coach, it always comes down to the coach, Marcus. If you can't coach those players to play at a level they're supposed to be playing at, then you got to go. So Stevens is on the hot seat. There's no ands ifs about it. You can't blame the general manager. General manager is getting your players.
Well,
hey, who do you want? Let's go sign Kemba. Let's go get Tatum.
Yeah, okay. Brad Stevens on the hot seat. Okay, he got.
Didn't bring Garnett and
yeah, but that was that's 2008, bro.
Right.
That's a long time ago.
But since then, he still got Tatum in the draft.
How many years it took? Brown. Yeah, it took years for him to get those guys. He got them in the draft. He got Jaylen Brown in the draft, and he got Tatum in the draft, and he was unsuccessful in bringing. I don't know how Anthony Davis could look at these guys and be like, I can't win a championship with them. What with them, AD? So he couldn't convince AD to come. He can't convince another good big man. He couldn't even get what's his name from Cleveland.
Some players I don't think like going to Boston.
What's his name went to the Lakers. Who's the center now? That was subbing for AD. Mr. UConn, tall.
Drummond.
Yeah, Andre Drummond. You couldn't even get Drummond to come to Boston.
Yeah, but it's not by he tried. It's just that some people are not willing to go to Boston to play for Boston, even though they have history. They have Bird, they have Chad Collins.
So you think it's more
all them guys?
You think it's more of this is of the city and not the fault of the GM.
I think it's more of like, no, I don't want to play in Boston.
You think stars are like, man, I'm not living in Boston. We're not going to talk about certain things that happen in Boston, which we know.
Right, we know about. But this is the thing too. If I gave you a choice to go play with the Celtics, like AD, or go play with LeBron, who are you going to choose?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick LeBron.
yeah. And the same thing with Drummond.
But I would think someone like AD, he would want to be the man on the team and not be the second and not be the Robin. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but in a way, he's still kind of like the man.
I mean, yeah, but that's LeBron's team. You don't say that's AD's team. That's LeBron's team.
And you asked Drummond the same question.
If AD was on Boston, that would be AD's team.
Right, of course. Now let's go the opposite. Let's ask Drummond. Hey, Drummond, would you want to go to Boston to play over there? Or you want to go team up with AD and LeBron? Who are you gonna pick? Let's ask Blake Griffin. Let's ask Blake Griffin. You want to go to Boston, or you want to go team up with Kyrie, Harden, and Durant? So yeah, players I think have a choice of where they want to go.
But that's more about the players. Like like say if Kyrie never left and it was Kyrie and Tatum and
Oh yeah, let's
Brown,
not forget that.
you're not going to go with
Listen,
that. You
yeah,
know,
well,
so it's not
listen.
the city, it's the players. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's another thing.
So that's why I
Ainge
give
brought
Danny
Kyrie over there.
Well, that's Kyrie wanted to leave Boston because Kyrie.
But Ainge got him over there. That's the whole thing. Ainge made that trade and got him
That
over
was
there.
all because Kyrie was ready to leave LeBron. There was a whole situation, so it was kind of easy for Ainge to get that because Kyrie was ready. Really, okay, I'm ready to go. Oh, Boston, you want me? Okay, I'm going.
Yeah, but Kyrie could have went to New York, or he could have went to the other team. But
there was nobody there yet.
But Ainge said, "I'll get you to Boston. I'll make the trade and I'll get you to Boston." So you can't blame Danny Ainge. It's all about Stevens. He's got the players to coach that team to make them a better team than they are now, because they're just average. They're just a 500 team. It all starts with the coach. I think if you take Thibodeau from the Knicks and put him on that Celtic team and have Thibodeau coach the Celtics are 600 team instead of a 500 team.
And probably Eastern Conference or Finals. When you talk about Thibodeau, with how he got your team playing, they are balling without a real superstar on the team. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just that's why I mean to see the turnaround from the Knicks, and you only get these windows, these opportunities to win. These windows are short, so it's like a few years. That's all it is, a few years. And if you don't capitalize within those few years, then what are you going to do? That's why I put blame on Danny Ainge too. I have to.
Well, I think not. I think the blame is on.
You think it's Stevens, I think it's both. But yeah, man, you're breaking up again, bro. But yeah, that's I don't know. I just want to see them do better. You know what I mean? I just got to see them do better. And like you said, with the talent they have, they should be in at least the top 3 in the East. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, there's just bunch of stuff going on with good and bad. Well, good things with your team, bad things with my team, but we'll see what happens with the Celtics as we move on. Last night, well, before we get to last night, there was some big news yesterday in the NFL.
Out of Green
Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Aaron. Shout out to Key and Peele, Mr. Aaron.
Yeah. Key and Peele, you're all right, my brothers.
Aaron wants out. And I think we've seen this simmering for like the last few seasons, bro, and it just boiled over. He's sick of it and he's ready to go. So I'm saying, since Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay, what team is the best landing spot for him?
Well, first of all, let's explain, or let's dissect why he wants out of Green Bay.
Well, of course, you see
the guy won a championship in his 3rd year there. In 2010, they were champions.
Yeah, with Mike McCarthy.
He went to 4 or 5 NFC Conference championships and lost.
Yes.
And lost. Yes. Imagine if he wins those, we could be talking about Aaron Rodgers in the same.
Like Tom Brady.
Yes.
6, 7, 6 championships.
Yeah, but he lost. I mean, this is a team game.
And how they lose. It's how they lose.
Yeah, you've been to 4 conference championship. You're the main guy.
Yes.
You're supposed to get that team over the hump.
Yes.
He played lousy against Tampa Bay last year in the conference final. That was lousy. The way he played. He had a chance.
Bro, they don't have an O-line really, bro.
The dude was 13-3. I don't want to hear that.
Bro.
He was 13.
Like they said this last season. They who won that first Yeah. Didn't Green Bay and Tampa face early in the season?
And Tampa Bay killed them.
They beat them, and then they beat them again.
They killed them. They didn't beat them. They killed them. They put up, I think, 35, 30, 40 points on them. They killed them, and then they beat them again. But in that second game, they had a chance to either take the lead or go ahead before Brady threw that pass before the halftime for a touchdown. They were down 21-10 instead of being down 14-10 at half. Mm-hmm. And they had their opportunities in the red zone to score, and they couldn't get it done.
But when you look at Tampa, bro, Tampa is stacked on both sides. Aaron Rodgers didn't have an O-line. One right receiver, Devontae Adams, to throw to. Did they have a running game? They didn't really have a run game last season, did they?
Well, they still went 13-3.
Yeah, that's during the season. But like you always say, the playoffs is a different beast. You always say that the playoffs is a new season. You can't get away what you got away with in the regular season in the playoffs.
If you're 13-3, listen to what I'm going to say, Marcus. If you're 13-3, you got Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, mm-hmm. and you got home field advantage throughout the playoffs, which means the NFC goes through you. You're mm-hmm. at home in mm-hmm. Wisconsin, in mm-hmm. Lambeau, in Green Bay, mm-hmm. with the Cheeseheads. Mm-hmm. You are expected to win that game.
Yes, if you have a good team, if you have a good team around you. Aaron Rodgers, I think we look at Aaron Rodgers, like a Superman and I know what he can do because he's beaten my Cowboys so many times and like easily beat my Cowboys or come back and beat them. He's beat the Cowboys in every which way.
Marcus,
I understand how good he is.
They were 13-3, the best record in the AFC in the NFC. Mm. They were 7-1 at home. They had home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and they couldn't get the job done
because you had Tom Brady. Because you had Tom Brady and the Dream Team.
And now, wait a minute. And now he wants out of Green Bay.
Nope.
Well, we're just maybe a piece away from returning to the NFC Championship again.
It was wrong.
Don't forget
know what sealed it? It was in the playoffs when it was third and I forget how many yards, and they took the ball out of his hands. I think when you do that to a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, he's like, know what? I'm done here.
Marcus.
And he's been suffering for years.
There's no excuse in the world, and I mean none. When you're 13-3, you have the best record in the NFC, mm-hmm. and you have home field throughout the playoffs.
Yes, there is an excuse. That Tom Brady's coming to town. Tom Brady and Gronk and Antonio Brown and
wait, and don't forget. They should have been playing with a chip on their shoulder because they went to Tampa Bay and got destroyed.
But and then there's another reason. Evans. That's what, bro. Tampa got an all-star team.
Marcus,
Tampa had an all-star team.
Marcus, that would be like you someone coming to your house mm-hmm. and wanting to fight you in your backyard. You know all the crooks, the crannies, everywhere where the shovels are at, where the rocks are at, where the gun is at, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to lose. You're going to defend your home, and you're going to win that fight because you know everything about your home field, about your house.
I hear what you're saying.
Same aspect goes in sports. You got, Marcus, listen to what I'm saying. You got the best record in the NFC. You have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. This team beat you in the regular season already. You went up there, you got destroyed. Okay, now it's revenge time. Now you're up for this team because you got to beat them.
Okay, perfect example. You talk about their record. Before Tom Brady left, wasn't the Patriots 12-4 that season? But they weren't really a 12-4 team, were they?
No, they weren't.
Because of the defense.
But actually they were because their defense was pretty good.
The defense, that offense was suspect.
But Green Bay lost 31-26 to Tampa Bay. They only lost by 6 points. They should have won that football game, and they didn't. And I put the blame on Aaron Rodgers. That's your team, and now you just want to skip town and you want to skip town?
I can't put the blame. I can't just put the blame on him, man. I watched game, and I don't like Aaron Rodgers because he broke my heart many a times with the Cowboys. But he's been a big part of keeping them afloat and keeping them winning. And you know, you get older, you can't do it by yourself. Put some players around them and see what you can do. You know,
okay.
And then you know, talk about, you know, as we move on from Aaron Rodgers, talk about the draft. They drafted a running back last night, but they still didn't. I know we'll see what happens in these next rounds, but they still gotta take care of that offensive line.
All I gotta say is 13-3.
I hear what you're saying, bro, but they gotta take care of that O-line. That O-line was suspect last year, and they need to figure that out. You know, if they want the running back to succeed, they need to figure that out. You know what I mean? So,
well,
if you want your young running back to succeed, you gotta figure that O-line out. He's not going to succeed with a suspect O-line. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's just football. That's just how it is. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how good a running back you are. You need that O-line to do its job and to be good, you know, good players, you know.
So let me ask you a question. Last year, right? Minus Green Bay had the best record in the NFC at 13-3, right? Mm-hmm. And you said the O-line was suspect, right? Mm-hmm. He threw for 4,299 yards with a raggedy ass offense line.
Because that's Aaron Rodgers, and he's a mobile QB.
Okay, well, I ain't finished yet. He threw for 48 touchdown passes. He had only 5 picks, and he had a rating of 121.5.
That's because it's during the regular. We just said this, bro. During the regular season. Of course,
if you can do that during the regular season, you should do it at home in an NFC Championship game. I don't care if you're playing. I don't care if you're playing the AFC All-Star team.
I don't know.
You're home. You got those kind of stats, those kind of records. We pay. That's why you get Marcus. That's why you get paid the big bucks. You get paid the big bucks to win games like that. And he didn't come through. And now he wants out.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Oh, you pause again. But I don't know. I can't just put it on him. I gotta put it on the front office too for not, you know, because you seen what Tampa did with Tom Brady and what they surrounded Tom Brady with. Aaron Rodgers is up there in age, like dude, like put some pieces around him. That was the problem with Brady in New England. New England wouldn't put any pieces around him because they just lost faith in him.
Brady was a systematic quarterback. He had Belichick. Granted, Rodgers doesn't have Belichick. Okay.
You can't say that no more because Brady went to a whole different team and won. So you can't say Brady is just a system quarterback. He went to a whole nother team. They put a whole new team. And, he had a couple players from the Patriots on there with him. You can't, like, they put a good team around him like they should on both sides of the ball. Tampa did. Green Bay didn't do that.
Aaron Rodgers in Tampa, you think Aaron Rodgers doesn't win?
If Aaron Rodgers in Tampa, they win.
They kill. They just don't win. They kill everybody because he's a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. Put good players around the good, you know, these good older quarterbacks who still got it. You have to do that. You can't. In New England, that's why I was upset with them when the whole Brady thing is like, I'm looking at the team like he has no one to throw to. Running backs, Sony Michel, you know, James White, he's cool at times, but Sony Michel wasn't producing. It was just bad. The O-line, he was getting knocked on his back, you know, game after game.
So you're saying that Tampa has a better team?
Tampa had a better team. They have an all-star team.
Okay.
They have an all-star team. Question.
Who has a better team, Marcus? Tampa Bay or the Yankees?
Tampa Bay.
Wait. Who for the last 3 years, who's had better players?
For the last 3 years, it's been the Yankees. But the Yankees haven't been able to.
Stanton, Judge, Torres, Urshela, all these guys, right? But who always wins the game, Marcus?
I see what you're saying, but I think that's totally different because that's you're talking about coaching. You're talking about managing, you know?
Okay. I'll give you that. Okay.
Let's say this. Talk about coaching. You give Bruce Arians all the teams Bill Belichick have. He doesn't win any championships.
No, because he doesn't put the Belichick system in that on them teams. No.
All right, we just agree to disagree.
No. and to answer your second question.
All right, let's Andy Reid. Andy Reid with Bill Belichick teams.
No.
No. All right, let's move on. Let's we just agree.
No.
We agree to disagree.
And to answer your second question, where does Aaron Rodgers best fit? I don't care because he's going to lose anyway, no matter where he goes. So I don't care. It doesn't matter anymore.
One of the teams he was eyeing is yours.
Yeah.
And don't tell me you won't take Aaron Rodgers over Carr.
Derek Carr is younger quarterback. Derek Carr's my quarterback.
Oh, you're full of it.
No, I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take him. Derek Carr's my quarterback.
As we move on, last night we had we can't go on. Last night we had the NFL draft. Fans were back in the building. It looked like old times. They had fans on stage sitting on a big recliner, and Roger Goodell say a little word to them. And it looked like it was very hopeful because it looks like we're getting back to some normalcy, and they explained like everyone there was tested, so it was a safe environment.
Yep.
And it was exciting.
Yes, it was. Kudos to the Cleveland Brown fans too. They were exceptional.
Yes, they were exceptional. They booed when they were supposed to boo.
Yeah, they showed out.
They cheered when they were supposed to cheer. And with all those picks, we're just gonna go through the picks and we're gonna say who did bad and who didn't, who did good and who didn't do so well. So of course we had the pick we thought, at number one, that was gonna go number one. And that's Trevor Lawrence, who went to Jaguars. And then number two, you had Zach Wilson to the Jets. And then 3, you had Trey Lance to the Niners. And 4, Kyle Pitts to the Falcons. Then at 5, is that 5? 1, 2.
Yeah, Jamar Chase.
Yeah, LSU. Jamar Chase with the 5th pick. And then the 6th, Jalen Waddle went to Miami.
That was a surprise.
That was a surprise.
They were going to take Devontae.
Yeah, I thought they were going to take him too, but kind of he reunited with his boy Tua, so he got one of the Alabama receivers. Then 7, you had Penei Sewell going to the Lions. Then at 8, you had J.C. Horn going to the Panthers. And then 9, Patrick Surtain went to Broncos. And then
a lot of Bama boys in that top 10, huh?
A lot of Bama boys, as always. It's always Bama's in that freaking top 10. And then at number 10, you had the Eagles trading with the Cowboys to get that spot. And then the Eagles take Devonta Smith.
It was good for I don't know why the Cowboys did that, because, that's a division. Why would you let the Eagles choose ahead of you? I guess they were looking for something else.
Yeah, they got their guy. And I got the list of the top 25. I have the list of the 25 here.
Parsons was a good pick for you guys at number 12. You guys, I was thinking we was going to get him because I thought we needed a linebacker, and we ended up drafting. Leatherwood is good. I don't have nothing against Leatherwood.
So, if we want to name off the next, we can name off the next, the top 20.
The top 20,
because then you had at 11, which I was surprised he sat for that amount of time. He had Justin Fields going to the Bears.
Right.
12, you had Micah Parsons. I'm happy with that pick. Going to the Cowboys, somebody on defense, somebody that can pass the rusher. You know what I mean? So
something we need, but we'll see.
Yes. I was happy with Micah Parsons. And 13, you had Rashawn Slater going to the Chargers. 14, you had Elijah Vera Tucker going to the Jets. Yep. Then at Jets 15, falling right in Bill Belichick's lap. Another Crimson Tide on the Patriots, Mac Jones.
And another system quarterback.
That's what
Belichick is gonna.
I'm not too high on Mac Jones.
Well, Belichick said that it's Cam Newton's job still. He came out said it yesterday. This is Cam Newton's job.
It better be
for him to lose.
Yeah.
But Mac Jones is waiting in the wings, and I think Belichick grabbed his man.
Well, I think he saw a Brady-esque type of guy with the height, and then the smile is just kind of weird. It's a little weird how he's the kind of throws like Brady, has that same size like Brady, and even smiles like him. But so you had him going to Mac Jones going 15. Then at 16, you had Zaven Collins going to the Cardinals. 17, Alex Leatherwood went to your team, the Raiders. You're not happy with that pick.
I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of happy, but I'm not, because we could have got him lesser. We needed a defensive pass rusher or another linebacker, and we missed out on Kawhi Pay. We missed out on Jamin Davis. We missed out on a lot of guys that could fill our holes. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so you had Leatherwood going to the 17, then Jalen Phillips at 18 going to the Dolphins.
So the 19, Dolphins had two good picks in the draft.
Yeah, 19, Jamin Davis going to Washington. Then at 20, you had Kadarius Toney going to the Giants.
Right.
So, I mean, the top 20, if you look, you can look it up on Google. I could be all day naming all the picks, but I think it was a, good draft when you talk about certain teams, when you talk about the Jaguars, the Niners got their QB. You know what I mean? So, and you got the Falcons, man. The Falcons got another big body to throw to. Got Kyle Pitts, so
I think every team drafted what they needed.
Yes.
Every team, it was a good draft because if the team needed a quarterback, they got one. If the team needed a wide receiver, they got one. Yeah. If they needed an outside backer, they got one. I'm kind of happy with Leatherwood from Alabama, a tackle. We could. I think Tom Cable was more in that discussion because we needed to revamp our offensive line. We let Hudson go. We let Jackson go. Mm-hmm. We let our guys go on the offensive line. So we're trying to revamp that. But I hope the Raiders got 5 more picks in this draft. I hope they all draft defense because that's what we really need.
Yeah,
I mean, the second, third, fourth, fifth rounds is all going to be about defense for the Raiders. They got their guard tackle. Mm-hmm. But I think we could have got a better player. I think we could have got maybe Vera Tucker. We probably could have got a Jamin Davis. I wanted Kawhi Pay from Michigan. Perfect. I mean, he probably could be. I think he's going to be the steal of the draft.
Who? Oh, you think so?
From Michigan, yes. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder too. I mean, coming and the Colts got him. So, damn. He's going to fit in good with that defense out there.
Kwity Paye.
I liked him. I saw a couple of his games. He's good.
So he's at 21. I mean, we might as well say the rest of the.
Yeah,
Caleb Farley, at 22 going to the Titans. At 23, Christian Darrisaw going to the Vikings.
Yeah.
25, Najee Harris, which I was surprised he dropped that low. I thought he would have been picked higher. He went.
That was a great pick for Pittsburgh. That was a great pick for them. They needed another runner.
Yeah, but they need to fix that O-line too. And then
they got the Ravens and the Browns in that division, boy.
Yeah, and then with the 25th pick, Jaguars select Travis Etienne. So I mean, like you
Okay.
said, if a team needed a wide receiver, they got a wide receiver. They need a quarterback, they got a quarterback. They needed, someone on defense, that's who they
That's what they
got.
got.
And that
Yeah.
usually doesn't happen in the first round. Usually teams are scrambling, oh, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? This team took our guy. So,
Right.
This was a good crop of athletes coming out of the draft this year. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
think
So
it was one of the best drafts we've had in a while. I think, as far as every team getting what they needed.
yeah,
But let's see
so
how it turns out in the NFL, boy.
let's
NFL season's
see
coming up. Let's find out what's going on.
that
And
chemistry,
hey,
man.
and they said Dak Prescott said in a statement that he's almost 100%
Yep,
back.
yep,
Um,
yep,
he's
yep. So
100% back.
yep. So he got somebody on defense that could probably help. Finally, Cowboys took you long enough. Bring in Michael
And I
Parsons.
think
Come on,
Justin
do you?
Fields. And I
If
think
you do your
Justin
thing,
Fields.
Michael Parsons, I will get your jersey, baby. Do your thing, I
And
will buy your jersey, but you have to prove yourself. I don't just, and put freaking Puerto Rican the same way. He don't just buy your jersey because you're on his team. You have to
no,
prove it.
you got to earn it.
You got
You
to
got to
earn,
earn. You got
prove
to earn.
yourself.
You got to earn that I can put that name on the back of my back.
Exactly. Those jerseys not cheap. We talking about some odd dollars a piece for these jerseys, and you like you say, they gotta earn that, baby. You gotta earn that. Yeah. So
And I think Justin Fields too from my Ohio State team going to
Chicago,
Chicago was
Chi-town.
good.
They
He
needed
could
a
be the
QB.
starting.
They
He could
got
be the
their.
starting quarterback there.
I
Yes.
think he is a face of the franchise QB, and supposedly Nagy is supposed to be some type of QB guy. So we'll see what
Yeah.
Chicago
They could develop.
they better develop him, because if they're looking at him, like he's their guy, then develop him. That's all I gotta say. Develop him.
And the Packers said they're not trading your boy, so that's out of the question.
We know that's a bunch of
They're not
BS.
gonna trade him.
Yeah, they say that now. Well, we'll see in the next month or two what happens. So, but yeah, man, before we get up out of here, bro, we had a movie come out last Friday. And that was Mortal Kombat.
I liked it. I liked the Mortal Kombat. It was good. As a matter of fact, I watched the Mortal Kombat and I watched Nobody. I watched both.
Okay, I gotta watch that because then we gotta review that too. I gotta watch Nobody.
Mortal Kombat was good. I think actually it was a little bit better than the first one, yo.
Bro, I thought it was good, and then I'm seeing people like my little brother and one of my other friends in New York. They trash. They're like, oh, it's trash. I'm like,
nah,
what are y'all talking about?
Good.
They developed.
Yeah, it was good.
You got to figure out each character. You went into each character's story, just a bit. But it was like, remember I told you, it was action. The whole movie, it was action.
Yeah.
It wasn't slow, and if it was slow for a bit, it was slow for like a minute and then more action.
I put it up there with the first one, man. It's a good one. I think the third one's going to be even better.
The original, I always gonna love the original. I don't know if I can put it up there, but it's the original is 1, and that's probably 1A. It's better than the second one that came out in the 90s, part 2. I didn't like that one. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I didn't like that.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that either.
No.
I think the next one they make is gonna be a lot better.
Yes, it's gonna be better. That's what they just presenting the characters. Now we know who the characters are, and so we get to see what happens in the next tournament. But I liked it. We liked it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
there you have it, man. That's just how I thought it was good, and everybody has their opinion. Oh, with this, I'm like, okay. Everybody has their opinion and has their taste when it comes to stuff. But man, people be bashing stuff, man. Y'all be dogging, like you can't be dogging stuff like this, man.
This is tough as balls. This is.
Yeah, we keep it real. If it sucked, we would have been like, it sucked. We would have said it sucked.
But you do have to watch Nobody, though.
That's I'm gonna watch Nobody, and we're gonna review that
all right
next, man. As we come to another end of our show, go ahead and plug your stuff, brother.
Hey, Fire TV, best stick in the world. We got cable, we got everything, sports packages, movies, TV series, best cable going around. Hit me up 239-237 8164. For you that hear the podcast, get the best cable in town, man. Don't miss. No games are blacked out, and you get all your pay-per-view events too. Hit me up 239-237-8164. The freaking Puerto Rican.
Yes, sir.
With
And
the
make sure
chosen
you,
one.
yes, sir. Make sure you follow the show on all our social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's Tough as Balls, TOUGHASBALLS. You're watching on YouTube, you see it on the screen. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or Spotify, I just spelled it out for you. So there you have it. You know what I'm saying? And for the freaking Puerto Rican, and yet make sure you subscribe to the show wherever you're listening. Like I just said, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We all over the place,
Facebook Live.
baby.
We everywhere.
We everywhere, baby. Make sure you follow the show and subscribe, comment, share, support the show. We need your support, man. And for the freaking Puerto Rican, I am the chosen one. Have a good weekend. We are up, out of here.
Peace.
I'm like you always gotta show and prove. If we fall down, we get back up again. It's the will inside the battle to the very end. Green light, watch that green light. Man, I worked so hard, get